Original audio drama from the Questers Theatre.
Persons Unknown by Tom Mead.
Pick me up in an hour?
So, what do I call you?
Can I smoke in here?
Sorry. It's not good for my asthma.
Call me doctor if you want to keep things formal. Otherwise, just Vince.
You worked with the LAPD once before, is that right?
Just the once, maybe 5 years ago now.
Before my time. And you've been in private practice how long?
15 years. Over 15 years.
And how long, on average, does a patient come to sessions with you?
I really couldn't say. Closure is a myth.
Recently, you've been treating a woman named Angela Baines?
Angela Baines. Yes, I know Angela.
In that case, I have to inform you that Miss Baines was found dead yesterday morning. That is Sunday morning, 6:15 a.m.
How did she die?
She was beaten to death.
Oh, my God.
So you see why we had to call you in, Doctor.
Yes, of course. Whatever I can do to help.
What we're really looking for is information on her relationships, her friendship groups, as well as any concerns or anxieties she may have mentioned to you. You were in a position of trust, after all.
So what do I call you?
Doctor, if you want to keep things formal. Otherwise, just Vince. What would you like me to call you? Miss Baines? Mrs. Baines?
Angela.
Well, all right, Angela. Why have you come to see me today?
Can I smoke in here?
Sure you can. Ashtray's just there.
Thanks.
Sometimes you treat a patient and you just know they're holding something back. It was like that with Angela.
Why did she come to see you in the first place?
She tried to kill herself about 1.5 years ago. That was what she told me. Sleeping pills, if I remember correctly. Since then, she'd been institutionalized for a while on a course of tricyclics. We didn't discuss it specifically, but I got the feeling I was just the latest in a long line of shrinks she'd been seeing over the years.
She was suicidal?
Her situation was complicated. She had a tendency to act out, shall we say.
Boyfriends?
Sure, she mentioned some previous attachments.
Anyone specific? Anyone that was bothering her?
How are you sleeping these days?
I'm not. I walk around my neighborhood a lot at night.
Don't you get tired?
I drink a lot of coffee.
Do you sleep at all in the daytime?
Only when I'm working.
Do you like your job?
Yeah, sure.
Would you like to tell me about it?
I waitress at the Swordfish Bar and Grill.
And how do you feel about it?
It's not your kind of establishment, Doctor.
Oh, no? How come?
I think you belong somewhere classier.
I don't know. Maybe you'd be surprised.
Maybe I would.
She came from a wealthy family.
How do you know that?
Well, how many waitresses do you think can afford $20 an hour for therapy sessions?
I guess she talked to you about her family?
Not much. Father deceased, I think.
Her mother?
Would you say you were a people person?
Not particularly. I don't mix too well.
You don't like talking to people?
Certain people I like.
Such as who?
Such as you, I guess.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Would you say you're a shy person?
No. Just selective.
Somewhere up north, she said. They weren't close.
I guess your neighbors must have gotten used to it by now.
To what?
To the, or whatever you call them, the disturbed people visiting your house day and night.
Only in the daytime, Detective. I keep strict office hours just like any other business. And besides, my neighbors and I don't have much to say to each other.
You live alone.
No, I'm married.
What does your wife think about all this?
I suppose what I'm trying to establish is exactly what are you hoping to get from these sessions?
Well, I want you to cure me.
Cure you of what?
Now that's a good question.
Okay, let's put it like this. If you could wave a magic wand,
Yeah.
what changes would you make in your life?
Be happy, I guess.
What does happiness mean to you? How would you define happiness?
I wouldn't.
What I mean is, how do you know when you're happy?
I guess you don't. I guess you only know when you're not happy.
Oh, I think you know when you're happy.
Yeah? How? Are you happy?
It's not about me, Angela.
I guess that's a no, then.
Mildred Baines came down from San Francisco to identify the body.
Angela's mother.
She says she's the one who's been footing her daughter's bills.
That makes sense.
She says she hasn't seen Angela in over 6 months.
That doesn't surprise me.
She says Angela didn't have any friends.
That's sad, but again, possibly true. Angela was willfully antisocial. It was almost as if she took pleasure in shunning human interaction.
Yet she came to see you.
Yes, she did.
She came to see you for a long time, didn't she?
A while.
You got on well with her?
Not especially.
No? Why not?
She could be difficult when she wanted to be.
Whose is that coat hanging in the hallway?
Which one?
White leather with the belt?
That's my wife's.
Funny. You don't have any photos of her around the place.
No, I keep my work life and my family life separate, which can be tricky when you work from home.
What's her name?
I'm not going to tell you her name, Angela.
Why not? Is it a funny name? Do you think it'll make me laugh?
We're discussing you, not my wife, and not me.
I feel like discussing you for a change.
Maybe later. For now, you.
So what do you want to know?
Whoever did this had so much rage. It's hard to believe there's someone walking around out there capable of doing something like that. But look who I'm talking to. You're the expert, Doctor.
What do you mean?
In aberrant behavior. You did some work for the LAPD once upon a time. Isn't that what you said?
Yes, a long time ago.
Then you know what I'm talking about.
Sarah, what are you doing in here with the lights off? Jesus Christ, Angela, what the hell are you doing?
I fooled you, didn't I?
Angela, you need to leave now. I mean it.
When I was a girl, I wanted to be an actress.
What the hell is this? Is that a wig? Honest to God, I thought you were Sarah.
Haven't you heard? Blondes have more fun. There's a costume shop on the corner of my street. It's where all the drag queens go. Pretty good, huh?
How did you get in here?
So her name is Sarah.
How did you know my wife has blonde hair?
If you want me to go, I'll go.
Please, that's really not appropriate.
If you want me to go, I'll go.
couple of kids found her body on the railroad siding about 1.5 miles from her apartment. She could have walked there, I guess. But it's more likely the killer drove her out there. Or killers, I guess I should say. Her face was pulp, but she had ID in her purse. The purse, by the way, was untouched. There's around $40 in there.
What about Sarah?
What about her?
She's not going to take this lying down. She'll make trouble. I'll lose my license.
There are plenty of ways around that. We'll think of something.
Yeah? You know something, Angela.
What?
You terrify me.
Good.
Mildred Baines could only give us a positive identification because of a birthmark on her daughter's stomach. I have another question for you, Doctor, if you can stand it.
Go ahead.
It may seem a little unusual, but I wondered if you could tell me about Angela's hair.
Her hair? What about it?
Do you know if she dyed it at all?
I wouldn't know. It was brown, I can tell you that. Kind of mousy.
It's just that the body we found, and we have no reason to believe it isn't Angela Baines, but the body we found was not a natural brunette. And when we looked around Angela's apartment, we couldn't find a single bottle of dye. Not a one. Not in the bathroom, not in the trash. We checked with all the salons in the area, and none of them had an Angela Baines on their books. It's the only real discrepancy we've come across.
I'm afraid I can't help you with that, Detective.
Well, it was a long shot. No.
Come on. It's too easy. It's the face and the hair, that's all.
Not just that.
What else, then?
What about you? You're going to just vanish off the face of the earth?
Wouldn't be the first time. It's the hair and the face, that's all.
Not just that, Angela.
But really, pretty much just the hair and the face, yeah? Well, hair can be dyed.
And what about the face?
Well, let's just say there's a lot of things that can happen to a face.
The murder weapon was most likely a baseball bat, one of those aluminum ones. The first blow knocked her unconscious, or possibly the second.
I don't know what to say.
Ditch her by the railroad siding. They won't find her for days. And when they do, chances are there are rats and bugs who'll have made even more of a mess out of her.
We need an identification. We need someone to say it's you.
Not a problem. I have someone up in San Francisco. She'll be my mother. She'll say what needs to be said. You worry too much, Vince. That's your problem.
Well, in that case, I don't think there's anything else.
So we're done here?
Looks like it. If we have any more questions, we'll call you. You need us to call you a cab?
That's all right. My wife is going to pick me up.
And that was it?
That was it. Angie,
Not Angela.
Then what?
What do you think? Sarah.
Of course, Sarah. I love you, Sarah.
I know.
Persons Unknown by Tom Mead starred Philip Sheehan as Detective Bauer, Mike Hadjipateras as Vince, and Victoria Smith as Angela. Original music by Tom Pether and Emerson Bramwell. The audio designer was James Connor, and it was directed by Russel Fleet. This is an original audio drama from the Questors Theatre.